Have you ever wished you could just never get sick again? Imagine a world with no colds, no flu, no infections, not even a single chronic disease. It sounds like a paradise, right? A perfect world where hospitals are empty and life expectancy soars. But what if I told you that this utopia could quickly turn into a nightmare? Illness isn't just a random accident. It has been a fundamental force that shaped our biology, our societies, and our very evolution. Today, we're going to explore what would really happen if humans never got ill, and why a world of perfect health might create problems we could never imagine. Stick around, because the answer is far from what you'd expect. So, why do we get sick in the first place? It's easy to see disease as a pure evil, an enemy to be defeated. But from a biological perspective, illness is also a teacher. Every time you fight off a cold, your immune system is getting a workout. It's learning, adapting, and building a library of defenses. This constant battle strengthens not just you, but our entire species. Over millennia, diseases have acted as a powerful filter for natural selection, weeding out weaker genetic traits and promoting those that lead to survival. Our immune systems are the product of an ancient arms race between us and pathogens. Without this constant pressure, what happens to our greatest defense mechanism? It becomes lazy, underdeveloped, and dangerously naive. Let's imagine the first generation born into this world without illness. At first, everything seems perfect. Global life expectancy shoots up. Hospitals become museums. The entire healthcare industry, one of the world's largest employers, simply vanishes. Think of all the doctors, nurses, and researchers suddenly without a job. Socially, our behavior would change dramatically. The fear of contamination, which dictates so much of our daily lives, would disappear. We'd stop worrying about complications from injuries or the slow decline of aging-related illnesses. With the fear of sickness gone, humanity's appetite for risk would skyrocket. We might see a new era of extreme sports, dangerous exploration, and reckless behavior, because one of the primary consequences getting sick is off the table. Life would feel invincible, but this illusion of invincibility would be fragile. After a few generations, our collective immune system would be a shadow of its former self. The sophisticated system of immune memory, which allows us to quickly recognize and defeat past invaders, would fade away. Our white blood cells, the soldiers of our body, would have no training, no experience. They wouldn't know how to tell the difference between a friend and a foe. This could lead to a massive increase in autoimmune disorders, where the body literally starts attacking itself out of confusion. And then comes the real danger. What happens when a completely new pathogen emerges? A virus from a melting ice cap, or a mutation from an animal? Humanity would be utterly defenseless. A single novel germ could potentially wipe out a massive portion of the population, who have no inherited or acquired immunity. Our perfect health would make us incredibly brittle. And even if we could somehow avoid a new plague, we'd face another crisis: overpopulation. Without illness, death rates would plummet, but birth rates wouldn't slow down nearly fast enough. The global population would explode exponentially. Within a few generations, we'd be facing catastrophic shortages of food, water, and living space. Our planet is already under immense strain. Imagine adding billions more people, all living longer, healthier lives, consuming resources at an unprecedented rate. The environmental collapse would be swift and brutal. The very thing that was meant to save us, the absence of death from disease, would lead to mass suffering and conflict over dwindling resources. The paradise would become a global pressure cooker. The psychological and social effects would be just as profound. Our experiences with sickness, pain, and recovery teach us invaluable lessons. They teach us empathy for those who are suffering. They teach us patience and resilience in the face of hardship. They remind us of our own vulnerability. In a world without illness, would we lose our capacity for compassion? If no one ever experiences the helplessness of being sick, it becomes much harder to understand and care for others in their moments of weakness. We might see a rise in what you could call risk addiction, as people seek out thrills to feel something, anything, in a world devoid of natural struggle. The very fabric of our emotional and social intelligence, woven from shared experiences of pain and healing, would begin to unravel. Finally, and perhaps most critically, human evolution would grind to a halt. As we discussed, disease is one of the most powerful drivers of natural selection. It constantly challenges our gene pool, ensuring that humanity as a species continues to adapt and strengthen. Without this pressure, genetic weaknesses and harmful mutations that would normally be filtered out could accumulate over generations. Our species would become genetically stagnant, unable to adapt to any new environmental challenges. We would be frozen in time, an evolutionary dead end. The quest for perfect health would ironically rob us of our ability to progress and survive in the long run. So, what's the final truth? A world without illness wouldn't be a world of immortal, godlike beings. It would be an overcrowded, biologically fragile, and evolutionarily weak society, teetering on the brink of collapse. Disease is not our friend. It causes immense suffering, and we should absolutely continue to fight it with medicine and science. But our resistance to disease is what has made us strong, resilient, and adaptable. The goal shouldn't be to erase illness entirely, but to continue building our understanding and our ability to overcome it. The struggle, it turns out, is a crucial part of what makes us human. Thanks for watching. If this made you think, consider subscribing for more deep dives into science and humanity.